Dinosaur tracks, eggs, and scavenged bone beds indicate activity of live dinosaurs, behemoths, if you will, that must have been buried alive by day 150 in the flood. Critics challenge us on how all this dinosaur activity can occur during the chaos of the flood. Even some creationists have felt we can't explain it. So when I examine these challenges, I find out that it's a challenge towards them also. The uniformitarians are challenged by the same data. Some of these bone beds are huge, which implies a huge catastrophe and not any normal environment. Also, when they describe these bone beds, they often describe them as being buried in a flood. Oh, we go along with that. And this one I found really significant. Trackways are practically always straight or gently curving. What's the significance of that? Well, I hunt elk and deer in the snow. And when I'm tracking them, they go all over the place. But when I scare them, they take off like a shot. Often, the tracks are similar. So what's the odds of that over millions of years, the same dinosaur coming to the same area to make tracks? It's not very likely. It sounds like rapid sedimentation when these tracks were made, and the same dinosaur was maybe washed off an area and then just came back again. Also, flood current dynamics. See, flood currents just didn't go from west to east or something like that. They were affected by the spin of the earth, or the Coriolis effect, just like the jet stream in the atmosphere. And so you'd expect them to snake around. Hundreds of oscillations in local sea level or the level of the floodwaters at any one spot. And it's these oscillations that can explain dinosaur tracks, eggs, and bone beds. And the fact that some of these dinosaurs dead ones were alive and were scavenged, they're lightly scavenged. You don't find a huge amount of scavenging, indicating they probably didn't have a lot of time to do it because they weren't exposed that long. And this goes along with the bones being a little weathered. We need to stick to the Bible as God's Word. And then we examine what the world says. And we got to examine the raw data thoroughly. Sometimes that raw data is tainted by hypotheses and assumptions.